So now that we've done long division, we're going to learn a shortcut for dividing some polynomials. So the shortcut for dividing polynomials by binomials of the form x minus k is called synthetic division. So it has to be x minus k. So meaning if you have like an x squared or like a 3x, we're not going to be able to use it. So let's look at some of the examples before. So the first one, we could do synthetic division. For the second one, you cannot do synthetic division because you have an x squared and a negative x there. So that's not allowed. And then the same thing for this one. We cannot use synthetic division for that one as well. So it's only of the form x minus k. So the coefficient is 1, and then there's no square. So we're going to divide negative x cubed plus 4x squared plus 9 by x minus 3. We're going to write the coefficients of the dividend in order of descending exponents and include a 0 for the missing x terms. So we're going to set it up. It goes like this. So are we missing any terms? We have x cubed, x squared. Yes, we're missing a 0x. It's so important, especially in synthetic division, because you will not see any variables in here. And so then you really won't know that you're missing something. So it's really fast to accidentally miss something. So we're going to write our coefficients inside. So it's negative 1, 4, 0, and 9. Now, this is because the divisor is x minus 3, we're going to use k equals 3. So notice that they're opposite signs. So because it's a negative 3, x minus 3, we're going to write the 3, just a regular 3, on the outside. Okay, so it looks like this. Then, this is how the steps go. You always bring down the leading coefficient. That's the first thing. You don't do anything with it except that you bring it down. So that is negative 1. Then what you do next is multiply the leading coefficient by the k value. So this number here, we multiply it here. So we're always multiplying in these steps here. Then we will add. You'll see that in a second. So 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. The next step is you add. So 4 minus 3 is 1. Then you repeat, multiply. So 3 times 1 is 3. And then 0 plus 3. So this 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 times 3, this 3 times this 3 is 9, and you write it in here. 9 plus 9 is 18. So I box it because this is what's called, that's our remainder. Then in here, this 3, you should write this, x to the 0, x to the first, x squared. Okay, this tells us the place of it. So now we can write our answer, our quotient. It's negative x squared plus 1x, or just x, plus 3, plus our remainder of 18 over our divisor. Our divisor was this, x minus 3. And so we just divided that. Now let me prove it to you by doing long division of this same polynomial so you can see that it does work. So our divisor is x minus 3, and our dividend is negative x cubed plus 4x squared plus 0x plus 9. So let's do long division again. So first terms, negative x cubed over x is a negative x squared. So that goes here in the x squared place. Then I multiply negative x squared times x. So that is negative x cubed, and then negative x squared times negative 3 is a positive 3x squared. Then we subtract by changing the signs to opposite. So this cancels out. 4 minus 3x squared is an x squared plus 0x. Repeat the process. Divide the first number, x squared over x is just an x, so it's a positive x in this place. Then we multiply. X times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. Then we subtract, change the signs. So now we have 3x plus 9. So then we divide one more time. 3x over x. That gets us a positive 3, and that goes here. Then we multiply. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 3 is a negative 9. Then we subtract, and we get a remainder of 18. So notice we get the same exact answer. We have negative x squared plus x plus 3 plus our remainder of 18 over our divisor of x minus 3. I don't know about you, but if I can use synthetic division, I would prefer to do this than to do this. This takes a lot more time. Of course, you have no choice to use it sometimes because it's not of the form the x minus k. Okay, so let me help you out by starting this one out. We're just going to use synthetic division and get some more practice on it. So we first check, are we missing any terms? We have cubed, squared, so 3, 2, 1, 0, we're good, and a positive 1. So remember, you write if it's positive 1, you write the opposite on the outside, really important. So you just subtract 1 from both sides, so you're actually plugging in x equals k or x equals negative 1. Then you write the coefficient inside. So you write 3, negative 2, 2, and negative 5. The very first step is you always just bring down this first term. The first term is 3. Now, after you do that, then it's just multiplying and adding until you're done. So 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5. Negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. And then you have 2 plus 5, that is 7. 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. Then you add this, negative 5 minus 7 is negative 12. So this is our remainder, x to the 0, x to the first, and x squared. Really important to write this. I know students they don't think it's important, but it really is. And so then you end up not getting the correct answer. So please make sure to write this to help you out in writing the correct terms, our correct final answer. So this is our x squared. So that's 3x squared minus 5x plus 7 plus our remainder of negative 12 over our divisor of x plus 1. Now, in big ideas, it might have you put this negative to the front. So in big ideas, it might have you do this, and you put the negative here, and then it'll mark it as correct. Okay, now I will accept this answer. This is totally fine. You have to be careful because if there's other terms in here, it doesn't quite work. But in these cases, if it's just one number, you can pull it out to the front. So see if you can try these two examples here. Remember for the missing terms so that you don't forget them. Okay, if you tried it out, the first one you should have gotten x squared minus x minus 9 minus 12 over x minus 2. Remember to write the opposite, so if it's x minus 2 inside, you write the 2 outside. Remember to bring down the first number. The other thing is once you're all done, put a little box over here to remind yourself that that is the remainder. And then write the x0, x1, x2. It always goes that way, right? If it's the remainder, this is your constant, x to the first, x squared, and so forth. And then you write your final answer, the quotient, and then plus the remainder over the divisor. I put it as negative because that sign is negative. Here you have to remember the missing term, 0x squared. So make sure you add the missing 0 here. This should be a negative 3 here. Bring down the 2 and then you multiply through. Be careful of your signs. Your remainder is negative 58, so that's your remainder, then x0, x1, x2. So your answer is 2x squared minus 6x plus 17 minus 58 over your divisor of x plus 3.